off to a great start. Welcome into PHLY Phillies podcast for our live watch along, where we are with you to open up the series, the 4-game series against the New York Mets. The Phillies are already not starting off great, but it's okay because we're here now. Tyler, Zulli, myself, Renee, Washington. We have all the fun packed today, guys. It's gonna be a great night. I'm gonna just manifest this for us. We're gonna have fun. It's gonna be great baseball. We're gonna have fun. But the Phillies, we've got Regal Eagle, Chris Snyder, Philly 007 Spiral out. Yeah, this is a day that we have to hope. Let's not strike out 16 times. That's been something that would be a small win. Granted, apparently they win 4 times out of 5 when that happens. But I'd like to have a game without 16 strikeouts. Not off to a really great start with a couple of quick outs. So we can only go up from here.
So Schwarber swung through a pitch. It was left up. It wasn't a particularly good pitch. I think next time around that would be the type of pitch he would clobber. Trey Turner looked like he was swinging a boat oar. It was a pathetic at bat. It was really lifeless. And I don't know if you caught the freeze frame of him down. It was down on one leg, like down on way off his front foot, bat way out in his hand. Like it was just, Severino's just toying with him right now. I know it's only the first inning, obviously, but he did what he wanted in that Trey Turner at bat. Like I said, the Schwarber one, he's not getting away with that pitch a second time, I don't think. But the Trey Turner at bat was really, really bad.
Yeah, not a great start. We talked about the offense yesterday and the frustrations of them not giving any run support when Aaron Nola actually had an impressive 7-inning performance. So hopefully today we're going to get better than 1 run scored. Question mark. I don't know. I think we can only go up from, again, I'm going to just keep saying we can only go up from here until we go up. So
and here's the thing too. It's very evident. You saw it last night with the loss to Milwaukee. Freddie Peralta did it. Severino's doing it too. He's taking them up in the zone with the fastball, seeing if they'll go after it. If they do, then he's changing eye level with 2 strikes and he's throwing down breaking balls down and away. Obviously that's a recipe for success is, change eye level, throw strikes, change speeds, that type of stuff, the cliche stuff. But it's a pretty evident formula that pitchers have over the last, let's say 5 games or so. Where if you've got a lively fastball like Peralta did, like Severino does, they're just going to attack you up in the zone. They're going to change your eye level to up here. And then when they get to 2 strikes, they're going to go with the breaking ball down and away.
Yep. Well, we've got Bryce Harper at least on with the walk. Alec Bohm is 1-2 in the count. As you mentioned already, 2 quick outs with Trey and Kyle. So, foul ball. We're now hoping for the best.
Other news, the guy in the head.
Oh, of course, guys. With the watch along, the beauty of this is that you get to basically get our reactions as a replay because YouTube delays us. So you get to hear our reactions after things happen. And then my TV is delayed just in general. So I didn't even see the play yet. Actually, it's happening as we speak of the guy getting hit in the head. We did see the news also. We did, huh?
He just never looked up.
Yeah.
He just came, plopped them right in the head.
Sir, the game has started.
Have you considered watching?
But this is why when people accidentally catch balls that are not out and they reach over the fence, I actually kind of understand it because at least you're paying attention. You could be this guy in the crowd that's clearly not aware that the game has started.
Well, it was a guy in the dugout. It wasn't a fan. It was some dude in the dugout.
Oh, I was looking at the fan.
Yeah, it was some guy in the – I don't know what his role is with the Mets, but it was some guy in the dugout. By the way, 3 already. You're basically –
I just got the guy in the dugout.
You're a 5th of the way to matching your total from last night. And I know math isn't my strong suit, but you've now struck out 3 times in the first inning.
Tell me why I just got the dugout guy, by the way. That's sad. Secondly, I'm about an hour behind, so no big deal. I'm just going to be the instant replay. I do see now the guy was not paying attention. Glad I got to see it. We're already on pace. I know in the chat, Spiral was saying we're on pace for 27 strikeouts. It could be a bad day, guys, and we didn't even get to see Taijuan Walker on the mound yet.
Kerry Wood struck out 20 once. I think Randy Johnson.
I was going to say, what is the highest? Are we going for a record here? Because is
the
this
highest what in a game or the highest by one pitcher?
Are we just going to lean all the way in? Yeah, I feel like we're leaning all the way in, possibly. And if we talk about it, it won't happen. So if we say like this is going to be on pace, possibly for the worst case ever.
The highest by one pitcher in any game, I think, is 21, but I think it took the guy like 14 innings to do it.
Mm-hmm.
In a 9-inning game, I believe it's Kerry Wood and Randy Johnson with 20. The Kerry Wood game, we were young, Renee.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that was on national TV or what, but like I remember vividly watching that game, and we were young. I think it was 99. So I would have been, like 6 or 7 at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I vividly remember that game when he was dealing with the Cubs. But I think the answer is 20 in a 9-inning game.
Okay, so basically it could be Taijuan Walker that throws 20 Ks. Maybe.
What season?
That's rude.
Yeah, maybe
That's
first.
Terrible. All right, it is the middle of the first officially. Well, technically we're the bottom of the first because I'm behind and y'all are ahead. So we've got Taijuan Walker up, and it's Iglesias, Nimmo, Vientos. Guys, what are we feeling? What are we feeling today for Taijuan Walker? What's his final stat line? How many innings? How many hits? How many runs? How many Ks?
3 innings Pitched. I'll say he gets into the 4th. 3 1/3. 3 1/3. 7 hits. 4 earned runs. 1 strikeout.
3 1/3. You said
3 1/3. 4 earned runs, 7 hits, 1 walk, 1 strikeout.
Okay. Definitely don't think he's throwing 20 Ks, Marshawn Lynch. That was huge sarcasm. I'm going to hope that he gets into the 4th.
That's all I'm hoping for. Is he gets
all I'm hoping is for the 4th. If he gets to the 4th, that's a small win in my book. If it's anything less than the 4th, this game is over, unfortunately. But as you think about it, he was able to get 3 innings when he was relieving for Colby Allard. He was able to get in that last start he had in August. He only made it. Well, he made it 6 innings on that one because they just let him go at that point.
Yeah, that one.
But that he fell off. He starts falling off around the 4th inning. So I think he gets into the 4th today. I'm going to give him 7 hits that he's given up. 4 runs, 7 hits.
You and I agree on 7 hits and 4 runs. Okay.
Oh, shoot. I was like half listening low key because I was actually thinking about my answer. So now I feel like my answer needs to change.
That's a
9 hits, 4 runs, and he gets into the 4th inning.
17 hits, 11 earned runs. Rob Thompson fights him on the mound.
Hope is not a strategy. Hope is all I've got. All right, Spinalot's saying 3 innings pitched, 4 runs. A lot of us are saying 4 runs, though. I feel like 4 runs is kind of the sweet spot for what Taiwan's going to give up.
Yeah, I think that's probably what you can hope for is, I think he serves up at least 1 home run in this game. I think he doesn't strike many guys out. Like I said, I think if he gets to 2, that would be more than I'm predicting. But you're hoping for a guy who has been bad this entire year, basically hurt and then bad and then hurt and then bad and then demoted to the bullpen and brought back. You're asking for him to go more than 3. I think that's about what you're hoping to get. Like if he gets into the 4th, I think it's assuming he gets into the 4th and then like gives up 4 hits in a row and the
that's
3
why I feel like it's gonna be like 9
runs.
Sorry, I'm gonna let you finish.
That's all. That would be the bad into the 4th. Like if he gets into the 4th and he's facing a righty, like they like a righty-righty matchup, he gets an out and then they go to a lefty, like Tanner Banks comes in or something like that. That's different than if he's pitching decently and then Rob Thompson tries to push the envelope and get an extra inning out of him, and all of a sudden 3 earned runs over 3 innings becomes 6 earned runs over 3 1/3. That's where the issues would arise.
That's why I feel like he's going to get into 4. He's going to give up 9 hits. He's giving up some late hits. It's going to be like bases loaded situation. Someone, unfortunately, is going to come out with inherited runners. I feel like he's going to start to fall apart definitely towards the end of the 3rd, but he's going to get out of it. and then they're going to let him go one more inning, and then that's where he's going to really hit the wall.
And that's the problem. If you're throwing
him Taijuan Walker without him hitting a wall.
If you're throwing him out there just to try to eat a couple extra outs, I think you're setting yourself up for possible disaster. Like if you get 3 innings out of him and it's 3 earned runs, he limits the damage to 5 or 6 hits. And I think you have to allow that to be like a high note and just call it and then figure it out from there.
That's the other thing, essentially, for Taijuan Walker. Do you want to? We know what happens when he unravels like a ball of yarn. Do you want to allow him to keep going?
No.
And you push it as long as you can and get to that point? I say no. I feel like, and you feel when he's, if the goal is we're going to aim to get at least 3 innings out of him, for example. When he gets to 3, that's it. Don't get excited. Don't get cute. Don't get very demure, very mindful. If he gets a 3 innings pitch, that's a wrap on Taijuan Walker. Like, let it be that he walks off the mound feeling good versus you try to stretch him out into the 4th or the 5th.
What?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no.
They ruled that a home run?
No! Here it goes. Here's the unraveling already. It's the 1st.
That cleared the wall?
Yeah, Viento's 353 feet. A line drive to left field for the home run. Thank gosh for my phone.
Yeah, I guess it did clear the wall. Yeah.
Wow, Mark Vientos with his 25th home run of the season. 353-foot home run, guys. And here it begins. 1 inning in, and with 1-0, the Mets are up, unfortunately.
Yikes. The only thing that I would say, so we were talking about trying to eat innings. If it's like 7-0, right, and they just jump on them, and after the 3rd, maybe you end up punting the rest of the game a little bit.
Complete game.
Well, you're gonna let him throw like 5 at that point, right? If the offense looks anemic through like 4 and it's like 7-0, then maybe Rob Thompson does just say, "Hey, go on out there and throw batting practice," and it is what it is. You probably don't want to allow this thing to go much further. Like I think about the Noah Syndergaard start in the World Series in 2022.
Oh yeah,
that might be 2-0. That's 2-0.
No.
I think about the Noah Syndergaard start in 2022.
Pete Alonso.
They pushed him, I think, an inning too far, if I remember correctly. I think they got 3 out of him and tried to stretch him into the 4th and then kind of had to scramble. You don't want to have him scramble.
So,
now, it's a little bit different in a regular season game, obviously.
Yeah, we're at that point now. A 389-foot home run for Pete Alonso, and it's 2-0, guys. Pete Alonso's up to bat right now for me. He just came up to bat, so I'm about to see it. But I did get the update. And so for Taijuan Walker,
what is your cable provider, like the Potato Network?
My cable's really good though.
What are you pushing your cable?
It's a squeaky link.
Concrete wall?
It is the bootleg version of cable, and hopefully the cable doesn't come and attack me. Because what's great about it is, even though I'm delayed, I get every possible sports network. So for Sundays, for example, I get every game. I don't even need an NFL package. I get all the local broadcasts. I get all the networks. There are no blackouts. I get everything. But the trade-off is, I just see the home run now. The trade-off is I'm about like 2 or 3 minutes behind every game. So that part kind of sucks. But the good thing is I get all the games. So Sunday is like, forget the red zone. I'm just.
I didn't hear a word.
I can watch.
Huh? I didn't hear a word you said there.
Why?
I am not complacent or whatever.
It's a real thing.
Whatever underground cable network you're using.
I'm not like stealing cable from someone. It's a real thing. It's really a cool. Like I can watch the Mets broadcast, the Phillies broadcast, when there's multiple broadcasts, I get all them. So like sometimes I'll watch the TBS broadcast. Sometimes I just pick and choose whatever I feel like that day. Yeah, and I don't have to pay a monthly fee, guys. So you pay monthly cable bill? I don't do that. I pay for this one time.
All right, so now I have to ask, so is it just like one of those like a one-time subscription thing, and then you're good?
You just pay for it once. I don't pay a cable bill.
That's a steal.
I know, and it's a trade. I'll take the trade-off of being delayed for a game. Not a big deal.
Yeah, I don't listen in because 95% of the time when we're doing post game or we have a regular 11 o'clock show, you can watch the game at your leisure anyway.
Yeah. I get the updates on my phone.
Right. The only time you get affected is when we're doing this.
Exactly.
That's actually a bad idea.
So that being said, I have now seen both home runs, guys. I'm caught up. Don't you worry. Yes, I know there's the frustration in chat. Lewis came right in. Walker is garbage. I'm not even going to say garbage. Garbage. And take his gloves away. Joe, Letariat. Oh, is that an I or an L, Tyler? What do you think? Letariat?
I think that's an I.
Lowercase. Oh, capital I or lowercase L? Joe is saying, Joe, let us know actually, because now I'm a little bit nervous. I want to go capital L because why would, it's a capital L, Letariat. Joe Letariat.
No, it can't be a capital L because if you look at the other capital L's.
I
think it's an I. Joe, what do you got?
Basura. How many ways can we say that Taiwan Walker is trash? Basura, garbage, garbaggio. Unfortunately, not a great start, but it is the end of the first. We did get to the end of the first. And
that makes sense. It's like proletariat, but it's
that's super creative, actually. Now I like that. Thank you, 2 and 2 to Harvey. Appreciate you. Okay, so we had our predictions of how far Taiwan Walker would go. He got past 1 inning. So Marshawn Lynch, although we didn't see him pitch into the second, but he did a full first inning. So Marshawn Lynch, you were wrong. He got 1 inning under his belt. How much further will he go? That is debatable because unfortunately, giving up 2 runs to Pete Alonso and who had the other one? Mark Vientos. First of all, those guys smash home runs. We do know that. That's one of the things about the Mets that actually makes me nervous about this matchup. You've got 25 home runs in the season for Mark Vientos, now 34 for Pete Alonso, who we saw in the home run derby. We know he can hit home runs. And you're going up against Taiwan, who just gives out home runs like he's Oprah. So unfortunately, that matchup makes me extremely nervous. And I think now maybe my 4 inning prediction for Taiwan is super lofty. It might be 2.
9 outs would be great. The lofty goal, Herb. The home runs. I missed the pitch to Pete Alonso because we were chatting. But the home run that he served up to Vientos, it was a middle slider. It was a hanging slider, and he crushed it down the line. Like, first of all, no pitcher should ever throw a middle breaking ball. Like, if you throw that, you made a mistake, obviously. Second of all, your stuff doesn't play nearly enough to be able to get away with any kind of middle breaking ball or middle anything in Taiwan Walker's case. Like, Orion Kerkering throws that pitch, maybe you go, oh man, it was a frisbee type sweeper and he gets away with it. Taiwan Walker's slider is not good enough anymore to be able to miss like that and miss that location and get away with it. I thought it was a double off the bat. I didn't realize how much loft it had. But either way, even if it was a double, Pete Alonso probably still hits a home run, 2 batters later and next batter and it's 2-0 anyway. But the point is, I don't know what the exit velo. I'll have to go back and check it in a second. The ball exploded off of Vientos' bat.
Yeah, it's not good. I know Lewis in the chat is saying he's speaking Canadian. Petrie, garbage and Canadian is his prediction.
Do you want to know what the exit velo on Vientos' home run was?
I don't know if I actually want to know, to be honest. I'm a little nervous.
Why don't you take a guess?
I'm going to assume based off your face, it's high.
Yeah, it's pretty high.
99?
113.2. That ball was obliterated.
Okay. It seemed like it was moving pretty fast. It was, again, he's giving him out. Spiral out, I think. Oh, yeah, it was one of the chats saying, if everyone looked under their chair, that's a home run for everybody. That's basically what Taiwan Walker's he would be a great pitcher in the home run derby. That 113.2 will tie 60th place as the hardest hit ball in Major League Baseball this year. And in fact, you know how much I love Baseball Savant? It's already updated. Oh, no. Okay, so you have Taiwan Walker, who has already come into today with the bottom 1% of all pitchers in expected ERA. And he has continued to follow suit with that prediction of giving up a pair of home runs, including one of the hardest hit home runs we've seen in all of Major League Baseball this season. On the other side, I do want to just give a quick update because we are getting some breaking news. This just in. It happened like 20 minutes ago, but we didn't get a chance to talk about it yet. Guys, Shohei Ohtani did break the
play.
Shohei Ohtani did get the 50-50 and then broke his own record and 5 for 5, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, the first player ever to go 50-50, and set a new Dodgers franchise record for home runs in a season. Happy for you. Yay, yay, yay. Congratulations. It is great to see greatness. I regardless of what team you play for, I can recognize game. I can recognize the fact that we're watching history being made and all the greatness that is Ohtani. But I just can't wait. And I'm so excited for the playoffs to be able to see the Phillies knock these teams off.
Well, so to me, he is rapidly approaching the best player I've ever seen status. Yeah. I've long held that the best player that I ever watched play the game was Barry Bonds. I know people don't like that answer because of steroid allegations and things like that. I've said that, the hitters to me that will transcend history in our lifetime were Bonds, were Griffey, were Pujols. And, you can add some other guys to it, pick whoever you'd like. Shohei Ohtani is rapidly ascending up the list of players, status of players of the all-time rankings. Just another record for him. I have never seen a guy so consistently have a baseball explode off his bat the way that Shohei Ohtani does. I know O'Neal Cruz, when he gets a hold of one, he muscle, I think he had one that got off the bat at 120 this year. But Shohei Ohtani being as often as he is in exit velo, it's insane how often he squares up baseballs. His barrel percentage is 13.3. That's second best in baseball this year. Only behind Aaron Judge, who's at 14.6. Everything the guy does is just masterful.
And they're working him back into pitching too, which I often find myself holy crap, that's right. By the way, he'll be back next season pitching. But to the point in the chat, as we are talking about some exciting news. Yes, exciting news for Philly that the Union did win 5-1. That was great to see that the Union got a nice 5-1 victory over NYCFC. So in the battle of Philly versus New York, we did get one win yesterday that the Union helped us lock in on the soccer front. And then there are some, nice to see Bryson Stott get on board. Would be nice to see some more get on board, but hey, we did see that happening. And then Lewis is asking how many home runs will Walker give up in the second inning? So if he gave up 2 in the first inning, I feel like this is a math problem. If Taijuan Walker gave up 2 home runs in the first inning and Taijuan Walker is coming out for inning number 2, how many home runs will Taijuan Walker give up?
2x plus y equals z.
Yeah, what are your predictions? X plus y equals z.
Yeah, 2x plus y equals z. Find the value of y. By the way, that I don't think you'd be able to actually figure out that math equation. I stunk at math, so I'm not the right guy to.
I used to love this, but I'm not going to get into it right now.
Well, since we have time, I had a I think it was calc. I had a calc teacher in high school, who basically told me, don't apply for next year's math. I'm not taking you. So I was in, I was in this, it was the step below AP. It was calc, and then you would take AP calc. And I started struggling mightily to the point where I was getting 40s on exams and studying my butt off. And just you ever have something where you try really hard and your brain just does not comprehend it. So that was me. And I was going back to this teacher 3 times a week for tutoring and trying to figure this out. Just it never clicked in my head. And it got to the point of the end of the year. She was like, listen, you gave effort. You tried really hard. This just ain't for you. We're going to pass you because you tried, but don't apply for the next, she's just don't even think about it.
Can we get this same story to play out with Taijuan Walker? It's very similar. Tyler, Zulli, and Taijuan Walker both can't do what they were supposed to do. Tyler Zulli was told, don't come back. Good try. See ya. Taijuan Walker, can you follow suit? I like the way that your teacher worked through your struggles to be encouraging and dismissive. Can we be encouraging and dismissive with Taijuan Walker? Philly Shardy in the chat is saying hello, and can any of us pitch? Tyler used to pitch. I've got a good arm, actually. I've been working with my nephew in the backyard trying to get him ready for baseball season for his lovely, he's not even in T-ball anymore. They're pitching now, so I've been out throwing gas, mixing it up, a little curveball, little slider, just something light. But I think, to be honest, who can pitch, guys? Who can pitch? Anybody in the chat? Anybody got an arm to lend? Can you go to New York?
I'm not going to give you much more than maybe, 74, 75 miles an hour at this point. That's probably what I would
be honest. Can that be worse?
But I'll go out there and throw innings. I could do that.
I don't think it could be worse than what we're currently experiencing.
Oh, it could be worse, Renee. Don't you worry. It could be worse. I get the fodder and the joking of the nature of it, but like, if you said to me, hey buddy, we're going to get you $32 million over the next 2 years. Please don't show up to work anymore. You wouldn't have to convince me.
I think I could take that deal. I think I'd be okay with that.
You wouldn't have to do too much convincing to say, hey, don't show up anymore.
It's interesting because I was talking, since all the news, and I hate to switch, this is such a grim topic, and I'm not making a joke out of this. I'm very serious. The awful stories around Diddy have been coming out, and I was getting into a conversation with people that were like, well, if you were able to take, for the people that he paid off, get paid off at the expense of blah, 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 would you take that deal? And I was like, no, there's no amount of money that would make me take a deal like that. But if you're saying you're going to pay me to not play baseball, now that is a deal I can wrap my head around. I'm not harming anybody. I'm helping the team. I'm being selfless. I'm being a good person. I'm not out here doing crimes and helping participate with Diddy and all the foolishness. And I'm not going to get into baby oil talk. But you can get paid and do something positive, Taijuan Walker. And I think we'd all be okay with that because we know the money. We know how much is left in his deal. But we also know the fact that Taijuan Walker cannot help the Phillies right now. They've tried him in the bullpen. He was better in the bullpen in a very low leverage situation. That's all he's got. I almost feel bad that we keep putting him back out there, and not bad in the sense of poor Taiwan, but bad in the sense of like, how many times are you going to give this man opportunities? And he continues to just show he doesn't have it. As you talked about before, the numbers are all trending in the wrong direction. We all know how bad his last start was, as he was in 6 innings, awful, and giving up 13 hits, 6 runs. That was historic of him having. He's had multiple games in his career where he's had 0 Ks and 13 plus hits or something ridiculous like that. Like, then this is not good. This is not good. And unfortunately, don't know that he's trending in the right direction. So it's not like he's young, gonna get better. There's time to work on some things. What do you work on with Taijuan Walker right now, Tyler?
We talked about the velocity. It's down across the board. And it's not a surprise as you get older, your velo dips. And you have to kind of reinvent yourself as a pitcher a little bit. I am going to make a comparison that is not fair to the guy that I'm about to compare him to, because the guy that I'm about to compare him to pitched into his 40s and pitched successfully into his 40s. Bartolo Colon started to lose velocity as he got older. He also learned that he had a really good repertoire of fastballs. And just because he wasn't throwing, like when he was with Cleveland and he was with Montreal and his his couple years with Anaheim, he was up at like 95, 96, 97. His time in Texas, in New York, he was throwing, 91, 92 as he got older. It's just the natural progression of pitchers as they get older. They lose a little life on their fastball. Unless you're Randy Johnson, then you just throw 95 forever. He learned to kind of reevaluate himself and reinvent himself. He also had a much better, like I said, it was a good repertoire of fastballs where he would throw you a 4-seam and burn the edge. And then he would throw a 2-seam that would run on your hands. And then he would throw you, kind of a little running cutter type of thing. And it was like 4 different variations of a fastball, but they all moved. And so that's why it's an unfair comparison. But the point I'm trying to make is you can reinvent yourself as a pitcher when your velocity decreases. We've seen it happen all the time. What you can't reinvent yourself with is if your best pitch, which was Taijuan Walker's splitter, all of a sudden becomes almost an unusable pitch, over the course of like a 16-month period. I don't know what happened to Taijuan Walker's splitter.
Yeah.
I don't know if the blisters were causing problems. I don't know if he's just not getting enough depth in his grip and his release point. That to me was like the downfall of Taijuan Walker, was the fact that his splitter just had nothing left.
Yeah. Well, encouraging is the fact that we got out of the second. And so it's time for the Phillies to get going. It's time for something. We need the offense. We need them to give.
It was a settled down inning. Got a couple ground balls. A much more efficient inning.
Yeah. And so now it's definitely time for the offense to help. You cannot continue to put this pressure on any pitcher, especially Taiwan Walker. It's still just a 2-0 game. And we panicked a little with the first inning, of course, but the Phillies have gotten through. So absolutely going to need something here from the offense. Now my attention, I'm done talking about Taiwan Walker for now. The attention turns to, can the offense give something? Because you cannot allow Taiwan Walker to return back to the mound with the score 2-0 again.
Not if Luis Severino is going to spot frisbee sliders off of left-handed hitter's back knee. Nobody's going to. Did you see that pitch he threw to Brandon Marsh?
I'm a little bit behind, Tyler. Why do you even bother asking?
That pitch was disgusting. Like, yeah, they've struck out 5 times in their first 7 outs, which is not ideal. Now 5 in their first 8. However, that pitch was utterly filthy. I mean, that's like you are going to do nothing except spin around, break your bat. That was a disgusting pitch.
Yeah, I am at, it's still 0-2 count, pitch number 34 for Severino.
Yeah, he's dealing tonight.
Huh?
He's dealing right now.
He is, and that makes me also nervous. I know Spider-Lot's saying the same thing. Severino is definitely feeling it. Right now, Severino, he's approaching 38 pitches now 39 pitches, just threw a 97.2 mile per hour four-seam fastball. The velocity has been up. He's with this offense, how they've been, this makes me very nervous as well. 5 Ks, as you talked about, so far for Severino. So something to keep an eye on is who will it take for the offense to get going? It's sometimes that one good at bat, one good play that can be the difference maker to help them get going. Because right now,
well, I think it's going to have to be one of the lefties. Because if Severino is able to, and his slider was good to Marsh. That was a good pitch to Schwarber too. But I think it's going to have to be one of the lefties to kind of get something going. Because his location with the fastball spotting, we talked about spotting up with the fastball to spot down with the slider. He's pinpoint today. And I think the righties are really going to struggle with him in this regard. I would say it's going to have to be one of the lefties. So Schwarber with a base hit, Stott with a base hit. 2 of your lefties have hits tonight, but you've struck out now 16 times last night. You've already struck out 5 tonight. You're going to need somebody to be a catalyst, and I think it's going to have to be one of the lefties.
Yeah, that would be nice. That'd be very nice. To your point, Wake Mind Virus, Woke. I can read. Yeah, as much as we want to complain about Taiwan Walker, regardless of who was pitching and how well they are pitching, as we saw last night with Aaron Nola's 7 innings.
Oh, it might be 2-2 real quick.
Is the fact that you need something from the offense. It is 2-2. Woo-hoo! There we go. We wondered when we would get someone to break through. Well, finally, the Phillies are on the scoreboard. It is a tie ball game. Oh, no.
You all right?
Okay. There? It got removed, so I got nervous.
No, it's believe me, that ball got deposited. That ball got deposited into the second level.
Yeah, no. I was just making sure. Trey Turner with home run number 19 of this season. Fly ball to left center field. Kyle Schwarber does score. For those that are listening to us across maybe your cars or whatever else. So with that, the Phillies have tied things up. Now we're talking about this. Who will be that one person? Who will help them break through? Who will help them get on the scoreboard? Tied up, whole different ball game now. Should be feeling good after this. And maybe they can continue to get deeper into the pitch count. Maybe they continue to feed off of Trey Turner's home run. But I like it. Trey Turner, we haven't seen a home run from, it's been, last week he had one. I'm going to double check that. Not this past series, the series before he had a nice 2 home run game.
I mean, that ball was absolutely crushed. He turned on that. I mean, again, it was the second home run of the 3 that at least that I've seen. We'd have to go back and take a look at the Pete Alonso one, but it's the second home run I've seen today that was a clear miss spot, and the hitter took advantage. And good hitters do that, right? Vientos took advantage of a bad pitch from Taijuan Walker. Severino left one out over the heart of the plate, and Trey Turner took advantage. I will say this: there is a very clear game plan with Bryce Harper today. They are just going to take him up the ladder and see if he obliges. And he walked on the first at bat. I think Severino thought he got him on the 3-2 pitch. It was a little elevated. It was a little bit up, and they called it ball 4. But there is a clear game plan with Bryce Harper tonight, and they are just going to throw him high heat and see if he's going to chase.
Yeah, and to your point about that 106.6 mile per hour, 436-foot bomb by Trey Turner to tie up the game. Trey Turner now, with that home run, that was his, I guess it hasn't been that. It has been a little bit longer. I thought he had one more recently. I didn't realize September 10th. I mean, time flies when you're having fun. I thought that was more recent. But September 10th was the last time. Trey Turner had 2 home runs in that game also against the Rays. I do remember that. I didn't realize it's been a whole 9 days since then. But either way, Trey Turner gets a nice 2 RBIs. He did have an RBI in the Milwaukee series, so he did something there. I like this. Yeah, I like the fact that he was able to attack a bad pitch from Severino, tie things up. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that game they won against Milwaukee, they did a nice job of the top 4. Each drove a run in. We talked about it. They were at least on. All 4 of them were on base at least once. I think 3 of the 4 of them were on base at least twice. It was something we didn't see in game 1. It was something we didn't see in game 3. It was something we didn't see the first time through the lineup. I went back and looked up Luis Severino's splits the first and second time through the lineup. This year, through 65 innings pitched the first time through the lineup, he's posted a 1.8 ERA. Hitters are hitting below 200 against them. The splits are 193, 259, 294. They have just 5 home runs. He's given up just 13 earned runs. He struck out 68 over 65. He's been really, really good the first time through the lineup. The second time, not so much. He's got a 4 ERA over 63 innings. He's given up 8 home runs, 31 runs, 28 of them earned. Hitters are 262, 319. They're slugging over 400 as a collective unit. He's done a really, really good job in the first time through the lineup. The second time is where he seems to be kind of being gotten a little bit, and Trey Turner being able to jump on that pitch. I think you go back to the at-bat before. Schwarber going down and getting a changeup, and it was a good pitch. Being able to go down and get that changeup and take it back up the middle for a base hit, extend the inning. I think that really helped kind of set a tone in that inning, and then Severino makes a mistake, and Turner takes advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Happy for Trey Turner. Home run number 5 of the month of September. His 10th RBI of the month as well. Great to see that. As Philly 007 is saying, looks like Trey wants to make the playoffs. I think the biggest thing, and I randomly was talking, who was I talking Phillies with? I don't even know. One of my baseball friends I was talking about the Phillies with. And the biggest thing that I also was trying to keep in perspective, as frustrating at times as like the offense has been, especially the bullpen, the starting pitching's been definitely looking back to their first half of the season. I'm not including the number 5 starting pitcher, whoever that is of any game.
Oh no.
But I do feel like as we get to, Tyler, wait, no. As we get to closer and closer with them locking in playoffs, locking the NL East, locking that top spot, I think we're going to also see a change in their shift mentally, because it's difficult when you know there's not as much pressure. I hate to say this. They're still human. There's not as much pressure in the sense that someone's chasing you for the NL East. You really set yourselves up to kind of coast. And I remember Brandon Marsh said it when they swept the Dodgers back in July. You know, they know how to dial it in when it's time. And I wouldn't be surprised if part of this is even just the complacency almost. Obviously, the playoffs are a huge deal and you want to go ahead and lock that in. of just knowing you're so far out in front that once they get closer towards, and definitely once it gets to Red October, that I don't think we're going to be having the same issues.
No, because
I just saw the news.
Because starts aren't going to be made by this guy. You're not going to have issues like that because starts aren't made by this guy. We talked about the bullpen plenty. There are, I don't know what your official number is. There are 5 guys in the bullpen I trust.
I just
and a 6th is probably on his way to getting back to being there. So we talked about this. What was it last night with the order of operations for this bullpen? Hoffman has my undying trust. Like I'd go to war for Jeff Hoffman. You guys know how big of a fan of Matt Strahm I am. Orion Kerkering's been awesome in the second half of the year. Carlos Estevez is still a closer. I know he struggled last night, but his numbers have been pretty good since coming over here. And then in the lower leverage spots, you've got Jose Alvarado and Jose Ruiz, who you feel pretty good about in the lower leverage spots. And if Alvarado can continue to maybe progress as the rest of the season goes on, you can start to feel comfortable, upping his leverage a little bit moving forward. But the biggest thing to getting to that bullpen is having a starting pitching staff that you trust. And one of the beauties of going into the playoffs is you're looking at most a 4-man rotation.
Okay. Well, let's all take a moment. No, to your point about the bullpen, I have a lot of faith in the top 5. Are you getting attacked by a bug? To your point about Taijuan Walker, I know everyone's saying, can we leave him in September? Can we leave him behind? It's a little frustrating to see Trey Turner go out and get the 2-run homer to tie the game up in the top of the 3rd. You're feeling good. You're thinking this could be it. Luis, for Severino, he's been pitching very well. And then here comes Taijuan Walker up against Brandon Nimmo with a 2-run homer. And bam, you're back down by 2 runs. And just like that, with the snap of the Thanos fingers, blink, half of it is gone. You're right back in the hole. Very, very frustrating. Unfortunately, this is the reality, guys. The 5th starter is almost like a giveaway day. It's right now it's Taiwan. It was Kobe Allard who unraveled. It was Tyler Phillips way back when. It was Michael Mercado. It was Seth Johnson. They don't have a 5th starter. They're laboring to get through to the playoffs with 4 strong starters. Now the good part is they've got 4 strong starters. Ranger Suarez, though, actually, we still need to see more on. After Aaron Nola's last start, yes, I feel better.
Now you got 3.
Yeah, you've got 3 definitively strong starters. 3 and a possible for everybody that likes to play spades. You've got 3 and a possible, and that possible is still a very good possible that we're talking about compared to like most people's 4th. I mean, Taijuan Walker, you're not going to see. This is it. Okay, so we got to the 3rd though, 4-2. Now we predicted at the beginning of this game how far we thought Taijuan Walker was going to get. I know, Tyler, you said 4 runs, 7 hits, 3 1/3 innings.
Yeah, I'm not sure he comes back out for the 4th, but that is what I initially had.
I thought he was going to get into 4 innings, 4 runs. I gave him 9 hits.
Well, it's only 4 hits. That's the good thing. The bad thing is 3 of them left.
4 runs on 4 hits is unbelievable and very frustrating, especially when you look at the game was just tied. Yeah, and I know in the chat we had a variety of predictions of 1 inning, 1 inning, also 1 inning that a lot of people are saying. So he's had 10 first pitch strikes in the 14 batters he's faced. He also has had 8 called strikes, 2 swinging strikes, 10 foul balls, and 11 in-play strikes, and 5 ground balls, 2 fly balls. And as you mentioned, the 4 hits that he's given up. Taijuan Walker, unfortunately, on those 4 hits, they led to 4 runs. So bullpen, get ready, because I don't know that I would not put him back out there for the 4th. I would not put.
I'm not sure that you can.
Yeah, I'd
love to know what their thought process is, but he's gotten hit hard on a lot tonight, even on balls that were outs. Like Jose Iglesias' ground out was over 101 miles an hour. The 3 home runs he allowed were 103, 105, and 113. It's a lot of hard contact.
Yeah.
Got a couple of pop-ups and got was able to get Alonso to hit into a double play, but it's I don't know how much more you allow your team to sit through.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know the answer to this question. I'll be honest with you. What would I do? What would I do? And what they're going to do might be two different things.
Should they take a Baltimore Orioles page out of their book and DFA him similarly to our buddy Craig Kimbrell?
Yeah,
no, I don't. They're not going to do that.
Is Kimbrell was on a 1-year deal. They're just eating the money at this point.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a sunk cost no matter what. I'm not sure he's on the roster next year.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know how you proceed. Really
so
don't.
For Walker, he does have 50 pitches he's thrown. 31 of them were strikes. On the other side for Severino, we now get Alec Boehm up next. You've got on deck Nick Castellanos. This is huge. Nick Castellanos and Alec Boehm have been two of the most consistent batters for the Phillies, especially Alec Boehm pre-injury, before he hurt his left hand. Down by 2, you need to respond. We've talked about how this team has typically, when at their best, been able to respond when they give up runs. I would love to see here something, anything. Get on base, get a hit. Just don't strike out swinging. That's all.
I don't put precedence on one at bat or one inning in this early in the game in the 4th.
No, but I think it'd be good for the sense of the ups and downs of the roller coaster of this game of down 2-0, tied 2-2, down 4-2. You answer right back because Taijuan Walker should also hopefully be done after this.
So that's kind of what I'm saying is like a retaliatory run in this instance, I think would be pretty significant. It is only a 2-run deficit.
Of course.
But if you can cut it to 1, relatively soon, you're going to feel a lot better about it, especially if you can feel comfortable with whoever's about to come out of the bullpen. Like I said, my guess would be if it's a righty-heavy matchup, you're going to go to Ruiz first. If it's a lefty-heavy matchup, you're going to go to Tanner Banks. But I think that if you're able to get a run here and make it 4-3 in some capacity, you could be done with him after 3 innings and still be very much in this baseball game.
Definitely. It's wild to look at the playoff picture entering today with the Dodgers, Phillies, top of the NL, and then Yankees, Guardians, top of the AL. You are absolutely right in that there's no need to put Taijuan Walker back out there. But unfortunately, we've also seen in the past where it seems very obvious to pull someone and they come back out again. And typically that is Taijuan Walker, actually. So either way, though, shifting gears to the offense, as we're now watching the at-bats that we're getting, I hope for something. I hope for one run would be good. Just close the gap. So that would be nice. I just saw Alec Boehm's at bat finish out. So
oh my gosh, you are so far behind.
I know I'm not the only one though, because in the chat, there were a couple people that were behind also. I think Lewis was behind. Depending on your cable service, or in my case, my incredible box that I have, cable box that I have, you're going to be behind. It's okay. I consider it a replay. So I already know what's going to happen. And then I just get to see it as a replay.
So we were talking about you mentioned the playoff picture, and we talked. I asked you this question a couple weeks ago: is it plausible that the Atlanta Braves missed the playoffs? And now they're sitting a game and a half out. I want to ask you now, after the last 2 weeks, is it plausible that a team that is about to be on the precipice of scoring 900 runs in a season misses the playoffs? Because the Arizona Diamondbacks are starting to falter a little bit. And they're giving up a lot of runs. Like they give up 11 in a loss to the Astros. They give up 7 in a win to the Astros. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Brewers. They lost 2 out of 3 to the Rockies. And they gave up 8 runs to the Rockies in that one. They have a 4-game series with the Brewers and a 3-game series at the end of the year with the San Diego Padres. I don't think they're going to miss the playoff. I think they're going to survive the Braves. Is it plausible that a team that's about to score almost 900 runs misses the playoffs? Like that is an insane number to me.
It's wild when you think about it. Honestly, I think one thing that we actually kind of take for granted, as frustrating as the Phillies are, is typically they make games a pitching duel. It's 2-1. It's 3-2. It's been a lot of low-scoring games. There are some teams, the Mets, except for right now, yes.
Unless this guy pitches.
Yeah. Okay. Totally fine. The Mets, the Braves, There's a couple others you can float in there. It's the opposite. It's a shootout. It's home run derby. It's who can outscore who. And so I think for the Diamondbacks, I think they're in a really interesting situation because we have been talking so much about the Phillies not wanting to match up with the Diamondbacks or the Padres. But in reality, it's so close for those final wild card spots that with how the Mets have been playing, and if the Braves can keep winning, you might not see the Diamondbacks at all if they don't get into the playoffs, which would be insane to even think about. But it's a fight right now. And I think that's something that makes it so encouraging that the Phillies are not in this for the first time in a very long time. We don't have to worry about the Phillies being in the mix for that down the wire, need some help, need to scoreboard watch. Because also while we are talking about it, they are currently – so the Diamondbacks and Brewers are facing off top of the fourth, and that game is scoreless right now. You've got Red Sox down to the Rays. We don't really care about that one as much. Cubs and Nationals are tied up 1-1 apiece. Dodgers,
I think the Cubs had their last stand. They're 7 out now. I don't think
the Dodgers, I didn't realize they put up 20 on the Marlins.
There's 3 wild card spots and there's 4 teams who could make it at this point.
Yeah, exactly. I know the Orioles had a crazy game against the Giants. Dominguez nearly blew that one, but they did end up winning that 5-3. And then the Braves also put up 15 against the Reds in that earlier game. So your scoreboard watching a little bit. There are some teams like we mentioned, the Diamondbacks that might not be in. It's very, very, very close, and there's such a small room for error with the wild card race.
So they like I said, they're a game and a half up. But if you they've scored 835 runs this year, which is the most in baseball by a pretty hefty margin. I think second most is the Dodgers, and they're like 50 runs behind them. But they've also given up 742. And the only teams in the National League that have given up more runs than the Diamondbacks are the Rockies and the Marlins. And they're both on pace to lose nearly or upwards of 100 games. The Marlins have given up 805. The Rockies have given up 868. The Diamondbacks have given up more runs than the 68 and 84 Washington Nationals this year. They have given up more runs than the 62 and 90 Los Angeles Angels. They have only given up, this is the crazy one, Renee, they have only given up 40 less runs than the 36 and 117 Chicago White Sox. So the White Sox have given up 786 runs this year. The Diamondbacks have given up 742. The Diamondbacks have been a ridiculously efficient offensive team this year, especially in the second half of the year. Like, you can just go back to some of their games over the last month, and even in losing efforts, they were scoring 8. They beat the Brewers 11-10 the other day. They dropped 14 on the Rangers. They dropped 12 on the Astros. They score a ton of runs, but they also give up a ton of runs. And I wonder if down the stretch, with the last week and a half to play, their bullpen's really leaking oil. Their starting pitching struggled with injuries for a bulk of the year. If they have a series against Milwaukee where Milwaukee kind of neutralizes their offense and they win 2 out of 3, or maybe they sweep.
Yeah.
And then in the final weekend of the year, you've got to go play the Padres, who might be fighting for seeding. There's a realistic world where the Diamondbacks maybe don't make the playoffs.
That's the thing, though. And I know that's an insane stat. I agree with Spiral Out, Tyler, that you shared, because we talk about it. What would you rather have, the offense or the pitching? And you can win, obviously, a lot of games with both. But if you have the pitching, that can equalize anybody's offense. You look at the Phillies, for instance, Zach Wheeler, Christopher Sanchez, and Aaron Nola, what they can do as your starting pitchers to be able to pitch you into 6-7 innings, to be able to give up, 1 or 2 runs. The number that I read on Zach the other day of the amount of starts he's had where he's given up 1 run or less are insane.
Crazy.
And I'll pull it up in a second. But that can help equalize any high-powered offense. And I think a team like Milwaukee is actually a great example, which is why it was no surprise that series was so low scoring. They also have some great pitching that allows you to be able to, or allows them to be able to minimize the damage. When you have a team like the Diamondbacks that, their pitching is so inconsistent, the injuries, you don't know what you're going to get from them. It's not sustainable for 162 games. And definitely come playoff time, when most times in the playoffs, like you look at last year, it came down a lot. Obviously, there were some offensive frustrations too. The bullpen, your pitching arms, that's what's winning you games typically. It's like the offense versus defense conversation in any sport. What wins you championships? What wins you World Series? What wins you titles? What wins you Super Bowls? It's, to me, it kind of makes sense, but it's wild when you think about them not being far off from the White Sox.
I think any team that has success in one of those categories and maybe has some shortcomings in the other,
Yeah.
the fan base would go, well, let me get the opposite. Because there's a lot of Phillies fans. I know we've had them in the chat. We've talked to them, wherever, where Phillies fans have said, inconsistent runners in scoring position were an issue at times in July and in parts of August. And some of those things are not incorrect. And then I bet you there's probably Diamondbacks fans that go, man, I'd kill for a starting rotation that's 34-2 when they get into, they go 7 innings in a game. It's a funny dynamic. I'd love to have that like almost never ending conversation of like, which would you prefer? Kind of like the chicken or the egg scenario. You can't win games and you can't win championships without scoring runs. You want to find yourself in a slugfest every night. I don't particularly, because those things just get too many variables when you get into a slugfest. But I also don't want to have a situation where you have your starter, your ace, go 8 innings of 1-run ball, and you lose 1-0 in Game 5 of an NLDS because you gave up a leadoff triple, that runner scored, and your offense provided nothing all game. I think it's a weird dynamic. I bet you if the Phillies were a team that was like winning games 10-9 routinely, people would clamor for pitching. I don't know the right answer, but I will tell you this. I think having a legitimate bona fide, at least 2 or 3 in your rotation and a legit bullpen come stretch time, come playoff time, I think is a critical advantage that you can't manipulate.
Yeah, and by the way, I do want to give some shout outs and credit to Brandon Marsh for his RBI. He singled to left and then got Nick Castellanos home. So we did get that 4-3 update for anybody that missed it. So Brandon Marsh, someone that we've been keeping an eye on. But to your point, Tyler, I do feel like the recipe for any team that wins a championship in any sport is a mixture. You cannot have, and I know our buddy Bailey's in the chat, and you're absolutely right that the Phillies cannot win a World Series with the offense struggling. I won't say you're saying with this offense or with Rob and how you're feeling as though Rob offers nothing to the team. When you have the correct mixture of the two, and you can provide 2 or 3 strong starting pitchers, a few strong bullpen arms, and you've got the offense that can score runs, the right mixture of that should win you a lot of games, should allow you to be a good playoff team. And then, of course, the next level is you get both at a very high level in the right spots. But we have seen so many times this season where you have had Zach Wheeler, you have had Aaron Nola, you've had Christopher Sanchez, you've had Ranger Suarez go out and have an incredible game, give up 1 run, and it's a 2-1 game. Give up, or to your point, we've seen a lot more 2-1 and 3-2 games, actually. And that's where I know I've looked back at the stretch after the All-Star game that the Phillies had of like the next 48 games after the All-Star game, about half of them, the starting pitcher, the pitching staff in general held the Phillies opponents to 4 runs or less, but they also lost more than half of those games. So the amount of times that they have had the starting pitching or the pitching staff in general, I should say, do their part. You hold your opponent to 4 runs or less. The Braves, they held to 2-3 runs. You're holding the Brewers. You're holding top teams in baseball, the Dodgers. The difference is when they go on offensively and are able to get rallying with their offense. So I do hope, and I do feel like because the pitching staff has been so great, it is giving the offense the extra leeway and the extra comfort and the extra confidence of, we got you. Zach Wheeler literally put the team on his back. He's going to be Mr. Calm, Cool, and Collected, but he's going to go out there, and despite that very low-key demeanor he's got in an interview, he's going to go out there and throw strikes. He's going to go out there and give you an incredible ace performance. And that for an offense gives you such a boost. But come postseason time, you got to get some run support, period. Something.
What I'm about to say is extremely surface level, and I'm sorry for that.
Oh.
It's no secret that teams that win World Series are often the teams that get something from a unit that maybe they didn't expect heading into the
Mhm.
playoffs. Last year, for example, last year Texas had one of the ugliest bullpens I've seen for 90% of a regular season. It was atrocious. They led the league in blown saves by a lot last year heading into the postseason. Um, he they, he meaning Bruce Bochy, they meaning the team, the Rangers, went in with a really potent offense and a couple of decent starting pitchers, and were hoping for a bullpen to be, keep them afloat. Their bullpen was amazing in the postseason. Jose
Yeah.
Leclerc all of a sudden
Oh,
was
yeah.
shut down. Josh
Huge
Spores was
turnaround.
great. It was like an entire 180 from the bullpen that they were for the entirety of last year's regular season. And quite frankly, if you look at the Rangers this year, their bullpen's kind of back to being mid. And it's kind of a return to form after they put together an incredible performance in the postseason. So if you can get any team that gets a rise of productivity from a group that they're not expecting, they're generally a team that can make a deep run. Um, the Arizona, for example, last year, heading into the postseason, how many of their starters did you trust? You trusted Zach Gallen,
Yeah.
and
I
you
would say,
probably
yeah, I would say 3.
you
I'd
probably
say
trusted Merrill Kelly, right?
yeah,
But
yeah.
the X factor of the whole thing for them probably was Brandon Pfaadt, right? Who
Yeah, that's
elevated
true.
his team in
He,
the postseason.
towards the
Uh,
end of the season, really picked it up.
right.
That come
So,
playoff time, you had a lot more faith in him.
so
Towards
if you
that, or
get
like nerves for us, faith for them,
sure.
I guess you can say.
If you get elevation from somebody or a group of some, group a unit, if you will, that generally tends to play into playoff success.
Yeah, definitely, definitely.
Or
So holy crap, guys, not good. Taiwan Walker did come back out there, and boy, oh boy, did he make his presence known. Just like that. It is a 3-run homer by Alvarez, 421 feet, and the game has swung again. Just like that, after Brandon Marsh's RBI to bring the game within 1, Francisco Alvarez hits his 10th home run of the season, knocks that one out to left field. And guys, as we were talking about Taijuan Walker, holy moly, he's done it again. So he's given up a 2-run homer. He's given up 2 first-inning home runs. He's given up a 3rd-inning 2-run homer. And this time it was a 3-run home run. So if we do the math, he's actually getting worse with each home run of what he's giving up. It went from solo home runs to 2 solo home runs to then a double to now 3 home runs. Are we going to let him give up a grand slam at this point? I mean, holy crap.
they got a 5-run home run they just made
Yeah,
up.
like if there are 5 or 6, do we want to keep tacking on? Because we jokingly said 2x plus y equals z. And right now, Taijuan Walker is doing all
Z
he
equals
can.
7. We figured it out. Z equals 7.
Yeah. Seth is still optimistic. I like the hope that the Phillies are still winning this one. That would be great. But unfortunately, to see a 3-run, literally every home run has gotten worse for Taijuan Walker. He's given up. This time, he is the Oprah of home runs. You get a home run, and you get a home run, and you get a double, and you get a 3-run home run. Yikes. So let me get some numbers on Taiwan, because this has not been too great so far, to say the least. So Taijuan Walker now, yikes, in his 65 pitches, 38 strikes, 7 earned runs, 4 home runs, just 2 Ks on the day for Taijuan Walker. He unfortunately does have, he's got 13 first pitch strikes in his 18 batters faced. But again, 2 Ks on the day is not great. It's not great at all. 5 ground balls, 2 fly balls, and again, 7 runs. 7.
Heading into today, Taijuan Walker had surrendered 20 home runs. He gave up 20 home runs last year. This year, he's thrown 78 and 2/3 innings heading into today. He threw 172 and 2/3 innings last year. So he's given up, heading into today, had given up the same amount of home runs in nearly 100 less innings. He now has 23 home runs allowed which is the fourth worst of his major league career. The difference is over those 4 seasons where he gave up more than 23, he made 29 starts and threw 170 innings. He made 25 starts and threw 135 innings, and he made 29 starts, 30 appearances, and threw 160 innings. He is on the precipice of getting close to his career high of home runs with a fraction of the innings pitched. He's going to be at just over 80 some odd innings pitched. I'll be quite frank with you. And I gave him props pitching out of the bullpen a couple times, and deservedly so. I think at this point, I'm not so sure Taijuan Walker should throw another pitch for this team this year.
So here's my concern. Why is he still out there?
He's eating innings now.
It's not over, though. It's early still. I mean, listen, we're talking bottom of the 4th. Why? I mean, I know in the chat you guys are saying, like, who was it? Spiral was saying just put Bryce and JT on the bench at this point, let them rest. I kind of feel like you give this another inning or 2 or 3 to see if you can cut the gap. Is it possible? Yes. Is it easy? Absolutely not. To your point though, what else do you need to see from Taijuan Walker? Phillies, what else do you need to see from him? Like, you've seen him in a bullpen role. His first bullpen role, he was not good. The final one was his best one. He went 3 innings. Whoop-de-doo. But he has not given you anything this season. And we've talked about it. What makes me incredibly frustrated about Taijuan Walker is quite literally every game he pitches, he is actually pitching worse. And you could see it from the start of the season from his start of the season, because of course he was out. From his first start of the season, when we were talking about him rushing back and not being ready, but Spencer Turnbull kind of forcing his hand and making him come back sooner, he has not seemed at all able to ever respond back. In fact, it's the opposite. Every time he has a bad performance, it gets worse. And today is actually happening within the game itself of each inning progressively getting worse. From the first inning, you're thinking you gave up a pair of solo home runs. Okay, maybe he's able to squeeze out the remainder of the next 3 innings and get out. He's actually getting worse as this game is going on. For whatever, that's to me screams something's up with the hand. Go on the IL. Something's up with the arm, because the more he throws, the worse he's throwing. There might be an injury there. Maybe we need another IL stint. He's out the rest of the season, because I think it looks like he's hurt, or something's lingering. Because why is it that you're never able to battle through? You actually are getting worse inning to inning, worse game to game. And here we are now with this offense that's been struggling in a situation where you're yet again chasing a game. And I said 4 innings pitched today for Taijuan Walker on 4 runs given up and 9 hits. Little did I know it would be a little bit off. That was a little bit off. So
Ray says, saying Walker is terrible is a disservice to the word terrible. He instills no confidence in anybody. And there's no fear or guesswork involved in the hitters. He instills absolutely no fear in anybody. He was terrible again today. He's been terrible basically for the bulk of the second half of the season. There is his breaking balls are flat. His fastball has no velocity. We talked about the fact that he can't use the splitter anymore. It's an unusable pitch. I don't know what more they need to see out of this guy. You're going to be eating the final $36 million. You have to. Unless somebody says we are so desperate for starting pitching that we're willing to pay this guy $16 million next year, and we'll give you prospect number 82 in our farm system. And that might be a generous ranking. You might get a single A, whatever. But the likelihood is you're eating the money and you're cutting the guy at the end of the year. So at this point, there is absolutely no reason for him to throw another pitch for the Phillies. I feel bad for the guy for all intents and purposes. From what I've heard, he's a nice guy. He works hard. He seems to be a good teammate, but there's absolutely no reason for this guy to be on the roster anymore. He's taken up a roster spot that not that like anybody's using it, right? Because everybody else stunk too. But at this point, he would not take the mound again in a Phillies uniform.
Just to reiterate the fact that Taijuan Walker gave up 2 solo home runs. Trey Turner tied the game up at 2 in the third inning. Bottom of the third, Taijuan Walker gave up a 2-run homer. Brandon Marsh closes the gap to make it 4-3. Taijuan Walker says, "Oh, no. I got you this time. Let me give you an even bigger gap. Here is a 3-run home run for Francisco Alvarez." Is there something we don't know? Is there something that is this a Al Horford situation? Is there something
blackmailing ownership? Is
there something going on? It's almost like every time the Phillies have just tried to come back, Taiwan's like, no, joke's on you. Here's some more runs to score. You got to be done with him at this point. And I do feel bad from a human standpoint because I don't ever want to root for anybody to be miserable in this world. But from a baseball standpoint, he can't help your team. There's no place for him. Swallow your pride. You lost out. It was not a good signing, but you've had some great signings outside of that. Okay. So lean on the fact that there's been plenty of good ones and let this one go because Taijuan Walker cannot pitch. He cannot pitch for you. And there's no way to justify it to me except if there's an injury and you put him on the IL or just bench him. I don't care what you do. I just don't want to see him. I don't want to see him pitching for the Phillies. This is just a team that already is struggling offensively. They need to just close out the rest of the regular season. Wait, what?
I got to be honest with you, Renee.
I just saw the run. I didn't realize that.
What I'm most tired of right now? I'm tired of making this score bug graphic every 10 seconds and updating this score bug. Somebody said the good news is we could switch to Monday Night Football. I don't know if you realize or not, but the Patriots are playing. That's just equally torture.
Thursday night, but yes. You said Monday. It's Thursday.
Monday, whatever. It doesn't matter anymore. I've lost
all Thursday, Tyler.
All I wanted to do is I had a whole bunch of tater tots in here before the show started. I want to go get more tater tots, and I want to not watch this baseball game anymore.
I know. I don't want to watch this anymore. Can we just leave? I think earlier Spiral had said, well, time for the post-game show. I think it is. Let's switch.
We still got to do a post-game show. Can we call the bosses? Can we make up for it later?
Inning, guys. It's only the 4th. This has been a really long game. It's only been an hour 15, but it feels like it's been about a week. Not good. Not good at all. I don't know. Listen, the Jets-Patriots game doesn't really excite me either. I can't stand Aaron Rodgers at this point in my sports life. There was a time I wouldn't say a fan, but I enjoyed watching him. I don't anymore. So that's just as torturous as watching this. Here's some scores for you around the league, though. We've got the final score. The Guardians did beat the Twins 3-2. The Blue Jays knocked off the Rangers 4-0. We already talked about the Dodgers. Really, really exciting news for Shohei Ohtani, though, to make Major League Baseball history with his 50-50 and then break history again. The Mariners have defeated the Yankees 3-2. And then current games, still scoreless. Diamondbacks Brewers, top of the 5th, 0-0. Apparently, there's some Mets team that's winning 9-3. I don't even know if that's real. I don't know about that. The Rays are up 1-0 against the Red Sox. We're heading into the top of the 8th for that one. And then the Cardinals and Pirates are tied up 1-1. Cool game. Might be one to flip to for those of us that get every channel like myself. And then the Nationals are up 3-1 against the Cubs in the middle of the 3rd. And the Angels, Astros, it's a 1-0 Angels lead in the end of the 1st. So, yeah, I mean, what else can we talk about, guys? Oh, MBDBDBF's talking about dinner.
That does sound good. That sounds really good, actually.
Red curry?
Sounds delicious.
Wait, like
You're so close. You're right there.
The chicken?
I mean, I don't know what the protein was involved.
Is it chicken?
It could be. It could be.
What is all involved in your red curry, MBDBDBF?
More
details.
involved.
I have a really good dinner and I'm really hungry and I definitely messed up of not eating sooner. And I might just have to whip out my food and start eating because I had this southern fried chicken, big boneless fried chicken smothered with mashed potatoes, gravy, and some steamed broccoli, and
Sounds
with a
really
nice
good.
drizzle of gravy on top of it. And I'm like
Nice.
looking at it. I can see it here.
And they're like taunting you.
It's torturing me. And then, of course, naturally, guys, because you know me,
Did you ever see those old, like the Tom and Jerry cartoons where like the apple pie has like a scent and it just like trails like up their nostrils? That's like, that's just like your dinner's just sitting there taunting you.
Sitting there, I'm like, I see you. I'll be there and give me another, at this rate, 2 hours. This game's never going to end.
Well, we've had a couple of people say we deserve hazard pay, and I'm starting to think, Renee, we should not do post games in the postseason.
In the postseason?
Well, we do that every time we do post games. So there was a start to the year. Our post game record to start the year was like 9-1 or 10-1. And I would bet you at this point, our post game record's probably close to, if not under 500.
We started off really strong though. We have really crashed and burned with our rates of post game shows and definitely watch alongs. Forget it. MBDBDBF, to be honest, to your question about Jamie's the smart one. He's at back to school night for his daughter.
Who would have thought parent teacher conference was the better of the two?
I think I'd rather be I should have went to parent teacher conferences instead and let Jamie stay here. And I could have filled in. Auntie Renee could have filled in for Jamie and his wife at parent teacher conferences because I'd love to hear all about what's going on in kindergarten instead of having to hear about what's happening here.
If he's done before this game is over, which I imagine it'll be like 3:00 in the morning by the time this game's over. I think he should legally be obligated to be on the show at some point.
I think he should have to lead it by himself.
Oh my gosh, that would
radio style.
I was just trying to make the guy prove a point. I wasn't trying to make him miserable. Sheesh.
I mean, we are miserable, Tyler. There's actually a little. I need to get a napkin because I
saw something fly around your screen earlier.
Did you?
Yeah,
you could see it.
A little
so apparently, this is like. Okay, I'm like low-key fascinated by everything in life, including bugs. There is a really, 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 really tiny spider that just like, I feel like I'm in a web right now. I'm just in a web. I'm going to turn into Spidey. My Spidey senses are tingling. I'm going to attempt. It's so small, and I can't even really see it. So what I hate about bugs is when I don't know if I got them, especially a spider, and I think it got away. It's your house. It's your car now. Wherever that spider is, it's yours until I see it dead. So let's just hope I can casually. Oh, it's so. I got it.
Here you see the spider and
this
it's
has to be the smallest spider I've ever seen. I guess is it a baby?
I don't know.
I don't have bugs in my house.
Everybody has bugs in their house.
No, I don't have bugs. Well, my plants attract some flies, which drives me up a wall.
You're gonna have some semblance of a bug somewhere in your home.
Not alive. I do the bug pest stuff.
You might.
By the time I see them, they're dead.
I'm not saying you got gnats flying around, but just by the natural nature of life, you're gonna get bugs somewhere in your house.
No. All right.
You never get one of like the stink bugs in your house or something like that?
Oh, the worst bug to get in the house. First of all, they have that loud buzzing noise. And guys, while we're at the end of the fourth, we'll take this time to have a talk about bugs. We interrupt this baseball game and talk bugs because right now, drop in your score predictions while we talk about bugs. I actually am one that if the bug's by the door or a window, I will let it out. Unless it's those stinking bugs. These have to be my least favorite of all. Those freaking ones with all the legs. Who made those? Why are they? What do they do? How do they help the world? Everything has a purpose.
What do you want me to answer that question with? God?
No, I'm sorry.
Hey, what's the proper response to that answer?
Every bug has a purpose. Spiders with their webs, they help with bug control. Flies, trash, bees, pollen. What do those million creepy crawly leg bugs do? I'm waiting. They're just as useless as Taiwan Walker.
I don't have an answer for you. I don't know.
Yeah. Lantern flies. Gotta smash those. They're up at Citi Field. You saw Matt Gelb's tweet, I'm sure you guys did, that Citi Field was raided with the lantern flies. They're back. Make sure you kill them. But the other ones I try to let out the house, it's these stink bugs and it's those million leg bugs, because the stink bugs make that weird buzzing sound when they land. And then, of course, they stink and your hands smell.
So this is usually the time where we like bust out trivia or something like that.
Oh, okay. That's
And
fair.
quite frankly, I don't even want to do it. I'm
Oh,
defeated.
you didn't like our bug talk?
I'm defeated on everything. I got no food. I got no water. We don't even have a third person here, so we're like Scott Hansening this thing on NFL Red Zone. We can't go anywhere. I'm gonna have to like call my mom soon. Mom, can you bring me some tater tots, some water, and some tater tots? Just sitting
Wait,
here.
what's the show? What's the show where the guys in the basement's like, Mom, I'm trying to work down here?
Well, there's Wedding Crashers where he's like, Ma, the meatloaf.
Oh, yeah.
MBD, you did nail a couple. I think Tarek Skubal was your big one.
Oh,
I think MBD took Tarek Skubal to win the Cy Young. I forget what some of your other ones. Oh, the hater one. I forget what the hater bet was. Have we figured out what the hater bet was with MBD and Jamie? Because I forget what it was. It was something about he wouldn't be top 10 in something, and I don't remember exactly what it was. But you absolutely nailed Tarek Skubal. He's going to win the Cy Young in the American League. He's been sensational this year.
I'm dropping.
And by the way, speaking of Tarek Skubal and the Tigers might sneak into the playoffs in the American League. I think they're now tied for a wild card the last wild card spot. They've won 8 out of the last 10. They've been awesome in the month of September. I think they entered like late August with like a 0.8 chance to make the playoffs. And at the beginning of the week, it was 18. And now I think they're tied for a playoff spot. Just an unbelievable surge from them in the back half of the season.
It has been, actually. I'm pulling up the updated picture now because it's been fun to watch. So you have... All right, so for the Tigers, right. They are half a game back. Yeah. Here's some updates on the races. Sorry if my internet's glitching because apparently searching for the playoff picture slowed things down. So the Twins are a half game ahead of the Tigers. The Mets and Diamondbacks are 2 games ahead of the Braves. The Dodgers are 3.5 against the Padres for the NL West. That's a wrap. And then
I think they have a series together still, don't they?
Oh, do they? And actually, the Dodgers, do they have a series against the Braves?
The Dodgers I mean, they've got the Marlins, which, you know, it is what it is. So the Dodgers have the Rockies next. Yeah. And then the Dodgers have the Rockies twice still.
What? Who did that schedule?
Oh, it's a divisional thing, right? The Phillies.
I know, but that sucks. Wait, do they play somebody good though?
They do play the Padres. The Padres are sandwiched in between 2 series with the Rockies.
Maybe that's who I had because I felt like it was the Braves and it must be the Padres.
The Braves have
the Diamond,
the Mets, and the Royals.
Mets is their final series. That's one to keep an eye on.
They have the Royals to end the year too.
Yeah. Okay, so I don't have everybody's schedule memorized like I thought I did.
No, I'm just Googling it.
I'm close. I was close. Okay, let me play Guess That Schedule. So the Braves play. I'm just kidding. I can't guess the schedule.
So the
Padres, I know
they
do have. It's who are they playing right now? Who did they just beat?
Who are the Braves?
A good spot to start.
They just wrapped up the series with the Reds.
Okay, so they just finished with the Reds. So they have 3 series left.
Right.
So they have the Nationals.
The Marlins.
Is the other team. Dang it. Marlins, Mets, Royals. I thought they played. Right. Oh, dang it. So close and so far.
Padres have 2 divisional matchups and 1 interleague play matchup.
Padres have 2 interleague matchups.
No, 2 divisional matchups and 1 interleague. We talked about the one already, so.
Yeah, so the Padres have the Dodgers.
Right.
And the Padres have the...
Is that a new team?
It has the Nationals. That is a good team. That's a playoff team.
The Phillies finished the year with the Nationals.
Phillies.
Right?
Yeah, the Phillies have the Nationals. I was just looking at this. They've got the Nationals. They've got this
Cubs.
series, and then they've got the Padres.
So the Nats play the Cubs, the Royals, and the Phillies to end the year.
This is a tough
The Padres play the Diamondbacks, the Dodgers, and the White Sox.
I knew about the Diamondbacks, so that's a good series to watch. All right, so that's fun. This is what happens when we get Taijuan Walker. Everybody, welcome into our PHLY Phillies live watch-along show presented by Bet365, where it's never ordinary. You can use code PHLY365 when you place a bet.
So
go have some fun betting.
Let's talk about some of our predictions from the beginning of the year, because some have been amazing and some have been not.
I think mine have all been good.
So
I had the Yankees winning. I had the Yankees winning the division. The Yankees winning the AL, and the wait, did we even do all that?
You had the Orioles winning the American League.
I had them winning the playoffs.
Right.
Okay, so yes, let me backtrack. I don't remember. We didn't do an overall regular season number one.
I think we did. Not seeding, but I think we did division and wild card.
See, the reason I bring that up is because some people didn't even have the Yankees in winning the division or in the playoffs, and I just wanted to bring
up on this show tonight.
I wanted to bring that up because some people thought the Yankees weren't even going to get to the playoffs, and I had them winning the division, and that is exactly what they're about to do.
Yeah, I had them as a wild card team. I thought Baltimore was going to win the division.
The Yankees clinched
a playoff spot, I believe, right?
Yeah, I think they're like 2 games.
Yeah, they clinched the playoff berth. They are 4 games. They're actually 4 games up on Baltimore now.
Oh, really? That much still? Okay. So yeah, the Yankees I had first in the AL East. Check. I did have the Orioles, Phillies as my World Series prediction. So I just want to circle back to that one because
plausible. I think both teams are going to make the play. I mean, both teams are going to make the playoffs. It's just
who do we have as our wild card teams?
So in the American League, I had Seattle, which I think a lot of people were high on Seattle this year. Did not do that. I took the Yankees as a wild card. They're going to win the division. And then I believe I took Texas as the other wild card team. So I think my AL was Baltimore, Houston, because Houston I took to go to the World Series, and it was terrible for the first month and a half of the year. But I took Baltimore, Houston, and Minnesota to win the Central. And then my wild card teams were Texas, Seattle, and the Yankees. So amongst playoff teams, I might get 4 right. Division winners, I'm only going to get 2. No, I'm only going to get 1.
So, being the Virgo that I am, I'm going to find my list.
Okay.
We've got time.
You do that. I think in the National League, I took the Braves to win the East. Still up to remains to be seen if they're going to make the playoffs. I think I took the Reds to win the Central, which was just a terrible pick. The West, I took the Dodgers. I had the Phillies as a wild card. I had the Diamondbacks as a wild card, and I had the Padres as a wild card.
Okay.
So doing well with playoff teams. I think I'm going to get 4 or 5, but the division winners were not my strong suit.
Fair.
If the Braves make the playoffs, I'll have 5 of the 7 playoff teams, just not in the right order.
Okay. Ooh. Ha! I found it. Oh, that's Jamie's list. Where's my list? Dang it.
I don't know. There's only so many.
We gave these predictions. Oh my gosh, this is so weird. It's so funny what you can search for. We gave these predictions back in March. Here's Jamie's prediction since I'm here. He had the AL East, the Orioles winning the AL East, the Twins winning the Central, the Astros winning the West.
No, Jamie had the Guardians winning the Central.
I'm looking at it. Maybe he
I'm pretty certain he was bullish on the Guardians.
Reading it. He might have changed it by the time the show started, because that's also accurate. He had the Rays, Mariners, and Rangers getting the wild card spots.
0 for 3
Corbin
there.
Burns, AL Cy Young. Julio Rodriguez, AL MVP.
Yeah.
He had the Braves, Cubs, and Dodgers winning their division for the NL, with the Reds, Phillies, and Diamondbacks locking in wild card. Zach Wheeler NL Cy Young, and Fernando with the typo. Fernando Tatis Jr. getting MVP, and then his World Series prediction was Orioles versus Braves, with the Orioles winning.
Okay. So
and now I will find mine because I know it's in there.
My World Series prediction was Braves beat the Astros. I think a lot of people had Julio Rodriguez as their MVP. I know in the National League, I took Spencer Strider to win the Cy Young, which obviously we did that before the injury. And I think the injury happened literally a week after we did our predictions. So I think I can earn a pass on that one because he didn't play. It wasn't a bad pick. It just was unfortunate. My National League MVP, I took.
Where is mine? I'm so upset.
I think I went chalk and took Shohei Ohtani.
I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
I think I did. And then
what day did I say that was?
March the one that I'm really happy that I think I'm going to end up getting right was I took Jackson Merrill to win the NL Rookie of the Year.
That was a good pick. That was a great pick.
That was probably the best pick I had.
Yeah.
Because I also had some bad ones involved. I think I took George Kirby to win the AL Cy Young, which if you remember back in our conversations with our buddy MBD, I was all bullish on Tarek Skubal, and then the last minute I went, I'm going George Kirby.
Yeah. Okay, I found it. I knew I would. I'm also a detective. Didn't you guys know? If you need me to find somebody, I can find you them. Also in the chat, I want to give some love.
I just want you to know.
I'm a great detective. If I wanted, honestly, I'm not going to hold you. I have found some really, really deep information about people that's
terrifying.
Really terrifying. You should be. You should be, actually. I can find out a lot about you, Tyler, and whoever else in the chat. So Linda had the Tigers for a wild card. Okay, solid. MBDBDBF only bet individual players, not teams. John is saying, oh, wow, feeling good with your 1,400 preseason World Series bet. What is that bet, John? What did you bet for your World Series prediction? I don't know if you're scared of jinxing yourself, but I would love to hear what that was. BC, you are a Libra? Our LA sports fan? Yeah, J-Rod that was a tough choice, but
that was a really popular pick amongst a lot of people. Having Julio Rodriguez.
Nobody would have expected this. Okay, so here's mine. Oh, we get to see Kobe Allard. I almost forgot.
Yeah, there's a baseball game going on still.
I almost forgot. It's over here, so I can't it's out of mind, out of sight. Yeah. Here's my, and I also was intently trying to find my list. So my picks. Oh, wait, what did I do this as? So I have Dodgers, Phillies, Cardinals. This math doesn't actually make sense because I only have 5 teams listed instead of 6. Oh, no, I do. Okay. Dodgers, Phillies, Cardinals, and then Braves, Diamondbacks, and Giants as a wild card. That's okay. Can't win them all. Astros, Yankees, and Tigers. I guess I just listed them.
You did take the Tigers to win the
I did take the Tigers. And then I had the Orioles, Rangers, and Mariners. I had the NL winner. Well, I already told you guys this. I had Phillies, Orioles, World Series with the Phillies winning. But for my, I had Spencer Strider and Corbin Burns for my Cy Young, and then Mookie Betts and Juan Soto for my MVP.
Oh, you know what? I didn't take Shohei. I took Freddie Freeman.
Yeah.
I took Freddie Freeman.
I thought I did better than that. I'm a little disappointed in myself.
So I want to go back. Remember when I was writing those articles about one bold prediction? I want to see how many actually hit, because I got to imagine most did not, right? I took it was bold stuff. So the one I took was Spencer Torkelson to lead the American League in home runs, and my man got demoted at one point throughout the season. I do think the one that I got, I don't know if he's still leading, but he was the last time I checked. I took Bobby Witt to lead the league in hits.
Well, that was a good, anything with Bobby Witt was a good choice. I mean, did he click 30-30 yet?
He's
I don't
close.
know if he actually
I also think
yet.
I think he's broken 200 hits now. I think he has.
Yeah, he's having an insane season. I can't believe I picked the Cardinals and they're 11 games back. That hurts. Oh, that really hurts. So wrong. And I didn't even pick the Padres, but I don't know that I expected the Padres to be so good this season, to be honest.
That was my one team that was the one team I was bullish on as a wild card team.
Yeah, I was actually not expecting nearly this much from the Padres. Jerks and Profar, we see you.
Well, we've talked a lot about them. They're just a solid team.
They are. They are. It is wild, though, because to MBDBDBF's point, you have some guys that are really having MVP-type seasons. Bobby Witt Jr. is one of them. You also have Lindor. Obviously he's injured right now. He's out 3 to 5 days. He hasn't played since the series against us last, actually, when he hurt his back, unfortunately for him. So he didn't play at all in their last series versus the Nationals. You have some guys that are really having a great MVP season, and they're not going to get it because you have Aaron Judge, you have Shohei Ohtani. It's the same thing with Chris Sale and Zach Wheeler. Zach Wheeler, definitely deserving of being a Cy Young recipient this season and winning it, but you got Chris Sale out there who's pitching really well. So here's Linda's list also.
The guy who's going to finish in third in the American League MVP voting is going to lose to one of his teammates. That's crazy. I think Juan Soto probably finishes third, right? I think it goes Judge, Witt, Soto at this point. That's crazy how good of a 1-2 punch they've become. And that's why we talked about it plenty. Soto leaving New York would be nuts to me.
Oh, you're going to open up that can of worms right now?
No, we're not going to do it again.
We're doing this? Are we doing this, Tyler?
No. No, I'm not going to do it again.
Are you sure, Tyler? We've got, a little change in the scoreboard since we are scoreboard watching. The Diamondbacks are now up 3-0 against the Brewers. Who hit that? We've got Ketel Marte with an RBI, Christian Walker with an RBI. Where did you score? That all just happened very fast. Top of the sixth, and the Diamondbacks have taken the lead with their big offensive production we've seen from them this season.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, they're going to score runs. We know they're going to score a ton of runs. I was reading something the other day that was, I think it was when healthy and at their, their 9 in their lineup, every single player has a positive B WAR of their starting 9, which is just, that's crazy. Walker was hurt. Marte had gotten hurt. There was a lot of fluctuation in their lineup because of injuries. Obviously, Gabby Moreno's missed a lot of time behind the plate. And, when they're healthy, they're nasty. They're not even healthy yet, and they're nasty.
See, that's the other thing. How many teams?
It's about pitching, right? You balance the offense and the pitching.
How many teams right now? There are teams like the Braves that they have injuries that you're not getting these guys back for the playoffs. The Orioles are another one. They have a lot of season-ending injuries, or just time-wise, the guys aren't going to be able to get back for the playoffs. Realistically, when you look at the landscape of everybody's got injuries, it is September. We get it. Who has the injuries that are salvageable, that are manageable, that are able to possibly get back? I feel like the Yankees are actually health-wise kind of where they are. They just don't have outside of Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, they don't have much offensively. Listen, they've got the Gleyber Torres and obviously Jazz Chisholm and different guys, but I think they are actually relatively healthy compared to what the rest of the league is.
Yeah, I don't trust their bullpen. Luke Weaver, I trust a lot. Holmes has been terrible lately. I don't trust that bullpen. I think if they're going to lose a series, it's going to be on the backs of their pitching not performing. We talked about bullpens before. I think bullpens are so important to postseason success. The Phillies bullpen is really good. The one bullpen that I think is maybe the nastiest in baseball, and it has a lot to do with the fact that the guy that's at the back end of the bullpen, apparently doesn't give up runs ever. Cleveland's bullpen is disgusting.
I know it's either going to be Emmanuel Clase or Devin Williams that you're about to lean into.
Clase might finish second in the American League Cy Young voting this year. He's got a 0.4 ERA.
Insane.
The numbers against him are just absurd. Sorry, it's a 0.6. He is 4-2 in 70 appearances with a 0.64 ERA. He has a 0.64 ERA and a .64 whip. I am not making that up. His ERA and whip are the same, and they're both under 1.
Insane. Some updates from the chat, though. Real time with Prince Blue came in to remind us, unfortunately, we've got Tobias, Taiwan, Walker, Harris. Linda did give the update. I like that. That was a good call by you, Linda. You had the Padres second in the West. You thought that they'd be better off without Soto and Snell, and so far the Padres are having a great season. And a team that you don't want to play in the playoffs, to be honest, because we talk about who has the most well-rounded starting pitching, bullpen, and the offense. Padres are a scary team. Of course, BC, you're just anti-Diamondbacks right now, which is fine. We all are, actually. So that's one thing in common. None of us like the Diamondbacks. And then I like that Gunnar may finish third in AL MVP, as MBDBF saying. Also, Gunnar Henderson's having a fantastic season and record-breaking season. It's been every year you get the breakout players because someone's going to get injured that you have high expectations for. We've seen a lot of major injuries that we, unfortunately took some guys, whether it's pitching like a Spencer Strider, whoever it may be, that's, you're not just seeing, which has allowed other guys to step up. And we're getting some really exciting record-breaking types of performances from some new names. I think Bobby Witt Jr. is one of those guys that we've talked about. Not everybody really saw the talent of Bobby Witt Jr., but now he's undeniably.
Bobby Witt's a household superstar now. So, Bobby Witt was really good last year. He took a lot of strides. His strikeout rates went down. His OBP went up. But the reason that I was so bullish on him heading into this season is because I felt that his contact rate was about to jump through the roof, and it has. And his power's been insane. And you can talk about the numbers. His numbers at Kauffman are just they're insane, right? Like he's hitting 4-something at Kauffman this year. But, you take advantage of the 81 games you're provided within your stadium. He has just been the surge that he's taken both as a contact hitter and as a power hitter is crazy. So last year I think he hit 270 last year. I'm going to find it.
I'm actually on it. Because I know as we're talking through NBDBS saying the first shortstop ever with back-to-back 30-30 seasons. Last year you pulled up the number, the 276, 319, 495 split.
Yeah, the extra base hit jump is significant, right? We knew he was going to hit home runs, right? He had 20 in his first year, 30 last year. He's already at 32 this year. But he has now 87 extra base hits, 44 doubles, 11 triples, 32 home runs. And like I said, the OBP is significant. He's struck out less. He's struck out 18 less times this year than he did last year, and he's closing in on the same amount of games played. His walk rate is better. He's walked 52 times. He's never going to be a massive high walk number guy, but his OBP went from 319. He's up to 387 this year. His slugging has jumped over 100 points because of those extra base hits. His OPS is near 1. His OPS is 985 this year, and if he has a surge towards the end of the season, he has an ability to get to above 1. He has done such an amazing job at elevating the things that needed to be elevated. We knew he was going to be a good home run guy, but his extra base hits have just been off the charts. He's a superstar, right? He's a household name.
He definitely is.
Superstar now.
He definitely is. So with that, you talk about the numbers. It's insane. He's got those 32 home runs a season, back-to-back seasons with a 30-30 season, which is the first time ever for a shortstop. It's got a 331 average.
It's nuts to think that Alex Rodriguez never did it.
I know, actually, now that you make that point. 108 RBIs and .985 OPS as the Rays just beat the Red Sox, that series. So for guys like Bobby Witt Jr., he has absolutely sealed his name as a household name. We are into the end of the 6th. This game is crawling along. We started at 7:15. We are almost 2 hours in. We're getting into the top of the 7th. And so the Mets are going to make a change. Fortunately for the Phillies, this helps them out tremendously. Severino, after 6 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 7 Ks. The 1 home run he gave up to Trey Turner. 86 pitches, 63 strikes. He's got a 3.79 ERA on the season. And we talked about it. Ever since pitching a complete game against Miami, he's been very good lately. His numbers have been impressive with how it's difficult. We've seen from his stuff tonight that he showed, it's really, he makes it difficult for batters. And someone that has been a big part of why the Mets have been surging in the right direction, because they have been getting some good production from their starting pitching, and he's one of them. So unfortunately, he's done.
You see the numbers that Fox posted from Quintana? It's a sub-1 ERA in his last 5 starts. We talk about it plenty. Their starting pitching's been really, really good in the last month or so.
Yeah.
By the way, A-Rod went 46 and then 29 stolen bases.
That's unreal. That's unreal.
So it was. Oh, sorry, I flipped those. It was 29 the first year. It was 46 the next year.
Wow.
But actually, so you know what? The year he stole 29, he only hit 23 home runs. So he never actually put the 2 and 2 together. And obviously, the home run numbers jumped after the. You want to call it alleged or not? The home run numbers jumped after the steroids. And the stolen base rate started going down.
Not to make this a non-baseball conversation because we are talking about A-Rod, but allegedly also there's some rumors that him and J-Lo have been circling back the block again, running it back for anybody that cares about entertainment. And I know you do not, Tyler, but A-Rod's not only out here, the post-roids, maybe his stolen bases numbers drop, but the amount of game he's got, the Riz in his bag, whatever you want to call it these days, he's out here. Him and J-Lo circle the block. Jenny from the block is back, circling that block, which I thought was kind of interesting. But that's just my little E-News update for you guys.
Nope.
We're talking about A-Rod. We're talking about baseball. A-Rod's killing it apparently still. And him and J-Lo. So yeah, there's that. Speaking of A-Rod, I just got an Aaron Rodgers note. I feel like it's disgusting to me how much the phone is listening, because as I'm saying A-Rod, I got another A-Rod notification about Aaron Rodriguez. All this excitement of the first home game, blah, blah, blah. What's the score now?
I know Brees Hall just scored.
Yeah. It's 14-0. The Jets are up. Second quarter. That's why I'm getting Aaron Rodgers updates and notifications, because apparently they're playing pretty well or whatever. Boo.
I'm gonna need somebody to at some point look back on these watch-alongs and just see the life drain from our eyes as we go. I'm sitting here like I don't even know what to say anymore. We still have a post-game show to do. Like legally obligated to do it. Like there's sponsors and everything. Oh, by the way, you're going to be by yourself for a couple minutes in a bit. Just thought I'd throw that out there to you.
I need to eat my.
Somebody's got to do the production side.
Where's your pets? You've got a cat and a dog?
Well, I'm not home right now. I'm at my mom's.
Oh, that's right. We left our backup. We could have definitely utilized them. You could have easily set them up on the camera for a while. People need to see cute pets, especially after a game like
this.
It's therapeutic. It's exciting. They're adorable. You just prop the camera up on them. Let us watch them play and run around for a little bit.
I don't know if this
is a whole segment itself. We can do
I don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing. And this is 100% TMI with the dog. So my dog had this like thing growing on her eye. It was like right above her eye, right?
A sty?
It was like a sty. Yeah, it was like a cyst. And it was to the point where my wife and I were like, we're going to have to get surgery for her. And the problem is it's up and around her eye. They got to, put her under an anesthesia and whatnot. And we're like, this could be like $1,000 procedure. Woke up this morning and
if it was on the floor, I'm going to vomit and I'm done.
No, it was gone. Don't know where it's at.
Oh.
I assume it's somewhere. I don't know. But she is there's no pain, nothing wrong with her.
Well,
so
maybe
the dog just saved us like $1,000.
Thank God you didn't go, because they would have charged you $1,000 to do nothing.
Maybe
it's a bug bite. Maybe it's a bug bite.
If
it fell off.
It was there for a while. It was definitely a cyst.
If it fell off, Tyler, that is
Listen, all I'm trying to tell you is I'm $1,000 richer. Or I'm not $1,000. I'm not $1,000 poorer.
Yeah, because you didn't have it.
Right. I still don't have the money.
You might have it. That was rude.
Oh no, you can make whatever assumption you want. The point was, I don't not have it. The double negative comes in. I don't not have it.
Okay. To MBDBDBS point, nothing like a good old Walker watch along. Yay!
MBD, we this is above our pay grade. These get sponsored, and we don't have a say in when we do these.
We're just here so we don't get fined.
Yeah, we're just doormats for the watch alongs. We get to choose all of our other post game shows except when the watch alongs happen.
Just here so we don't get fined. So I hope you guys are enjoying. Let's just get some updates on the game. No updates. Great. That was fun.
It's about time to bring the Star Wars helmet back out.
Oh no. What is happening? Top of the 7th, still 0 outs. Oh, am I caught up?
You might be. It's about to be. Oh, JT, what are you doing, bud?
Wait, I feel like my TV randomly caught up because
did JT just hold up because he thought it was going to get caught? Or no, I'm sorry. I mean, Marsh did.
Yeah, I just saw that.
What just happened?
Wait.
I'm under the impression he might have thought it was going to get caught, so he had to hang up. But the ball was pretty.
I'm an idiot. Oh wait, they just showed it for the first time. I just saw them show the scores for the other games. I thought that was there the entire time.
No, it was JT. Okay, I'm very confused. He must have held up. Oh, he did. He went back to the bag.
Well, okay, Marsh just got hit. He did hit his foot, and that the ball.
No. I was misrunning it. It was JT was running. Marsh was the one that hit the ball off the wall. JT went back to the bag in case it was caught.
Yeah,
and that's why he didn't score on the ball. That's why it's 1st and 3rd.
Yeah. So we have Weston Wilson's in the game, replacing Cal Stevenson. We've got a sub. Oh, hit by pitch. All right, Brandon Marsh is second. We'll take it. Woo!
Hey, congrats, buddy. You're gonna pinch hit. Let me throw right at your foot. I think he hit him hard.
Brandon Marsh actually hit himself in the foot. This guy's beard game's on point. Shout out to Young. That's a legit beard. Like it's all in here's okay. I see. That's all I got.
Listen, as somebody who struggled to grow the beard for years, I respect it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I respect it.
It was like okay. I'm sorry.
That spot you were just pointing to is like the hardest place for your beard to grow.
It's pretty solid. Like look at that. That side profile is legit. The thin is respect. Almost as nice as Weston Wilson's. So I forget what I was gonna say actually. That's embarrassing.
I think we've run out of
things. Is this what it's like for being on like reality TV? Like just the camera's rolling the entire time while you're talking?
Yeah, but you don't have to pretend to
I know, I'm just kidding.
Talk about the game.
And they do it's not live.
Oh my gosh, this guy's command is terrible today.
Come on, this is our time. Let's go. Kyle Schwarber, bases loaded. 1-0 is the counts. He threw an 82.9 mile per hour sweeper. Ball.
No, not just the ball. I mean, all the way to the backstop ball.
Well, I didn't see it yet, so.
Oh, I know.
I'm reading.
You'll get there soon.
Okay. It's okay. You'll get there soon, Grandpa.
You just saw Eric Bruntlett's triple play from 2011.
Oh, Lord. Oh, there's the remaining schedules. Oh, the Padres have to play the White Sox also. That's an automatic dub.
I mean, the White Sox are going to be the worst team ever when this season's over.
At least we're going to see some more history. We're getting some good history. We're getting some bad history.
Is it all publicity is good publicity? Is all history?
Not mine. That's not how I operate. But as long as it's not like one of our teams, like the fact that it's the White Sox, I don't. Well,
that's like within.
Somebody's got to be bad.
Let me rephrase what I just said there because that could have been misconstrued as very bad. within the construct of the sport, records is what I would, let me rephrase that. If you have is a bad record like publicity. Let me rephrase what I just said
because
there.
someone's like, oh, Tyler likes clickbait.
That could have been bad. Within the construct of records and like is having the bad record, something that White Sox fans will talk about. Like, hey, our team is worse.
I actually do think that's one of those things that you probably are going to have, similar to how we talk about bad teams. People are going to be like, oh, I remember when I was 12 years old and the White Sox had the 125 losses. Like
we talk about the Phillies being the losingest franchise ever. Like it's a talking point in this city.
I mean, it's a fact. Somebody's got to set the history on the bad side. Can't all be good. Woo!
So far behind.
Okay. Well, Kyle Schwarber at least drove 1 run home. 9-4. All right. Oh,
what was the over-under in this game?
I'm not that far behind. It's happening. It just happened right now. Oh, you saw that a while ago?
Yeah.
Oh, dang. Well, why didn't you react? How do you just quietly watch a run get scored?
I mean, it's still a 5-run game.
I mean, but now it's 5 instead of 6.
Happy they drove a run in, but it's still a 5-run game.
It's 5 instead of 6. I mean, we got to take what we can get here. We're grasping at straws, Zulls.
I know. We've been grasping at straws for an hour now.
I think in the 4th inning, I hit a rut and a wall because it dawned on me after that 3-run home run that Taijuan Walker gave up that we were only in the 4th inning. And for whatever reason, the Taijuan Walker days, like to me, I don't know about you guys. I feel like I've been sitting here for 2 days. Like the Taijuan Walker pitching felt like yesterday. That's where I'm at as a person.
Yeah. It's time to
I don't know where we are as people, but for me and my experience in this game, that whole first 4 innings of Taijuan Walker felt like yesterday. So yeah, okay.
For everybody. Regroup in the morning.
Yeah, well, it's been real. We do have Greg Murphy on with us tomorrow. That'll be fun.
Right, we do.
And it'll be us 2, Jamie and Greg, being able to chat about the Phillies. So top of the 7th.
I mean, I might be asleep at the desk, but
that's how you'll be producing. Wait, it's over? Oh, pitching change. Whoo, I got nervous. Okay, so Reed Garrett is in for Danny, who's got a nice beard young, because he was struggling. And bases are loaded, and we've got a swinging strike. 0-2 count for Trey Turner.
Are you just reading the manifest now, like the log of the game? Is that what we're doing?
I'm doing play-by-play.
From what? Like a written log?
I'm watching the live.
And the Phillies are up 2 bats.
I was trying to give the update of where we are for people that don't know. Okay. Per OptaStats, one player has a game with 10 RBIs, 3 home runs, 6 hits, 5 extra base hits, and 2 stolen bases. Shohei Ohtani did it all in 1 day today. Wow. That's wild. They crushed the Marlins.
Yeah, they put up a football number today.
Yeah, that's like not a real score. Them and the Braves, though. The Braves put up 15. It's not real scores. 20-4 and 15-3. And then here we are watching a 9-4 because of Taijuan Walker giving up 6 runs. Well, I guess, no. 1, 2, 4, 7 runs. I'm sorry. I forgot one. Math. Here we are. Thank you, Taiwan. Now batting, we've got Bryce Harper. We had a batter timeout, a foul ball, 99.9.
Would you want to do the public address announcing?
No. That's one of the only jobs I've never had. I've done in-arena hosting, which is about as close as I could get to being a PA, and that was not fun. It's just a weird thing because the audio in this stadiums and arenas, Trey Turner. Now I see Trey Turner's at bat.
I'm gonna make a prediction.
Okay.
Bryce Harper 2-run double.
I already saw that happen.
Wait, how are you seeing it happen, but you're not actually watching it?
On my phone. I'm watching a game.
Right.
I have a lot of technology going right now for me. So, guys, it's now a 3-run game. Are we getting excited? Top of the 7th, Bryce Harper hits a double. 2-run double scores Kyle Schwarber and Brandon Marsh. And now we've got a ball game. We've got no more Taijuan Walker. I wonder who's going to be next, actually, for the Phillies. Because we had Jose Ruiz pitch.
Probably.
We had Allard. Do you think that, I guess Rob, we rolled out of Taijuan Walker with Jose Ruiz and Colby Allard, and we still have a game.
Yeah. So probably Taiwan, or Jose Alvarado.
Yeah, let's get somebody in here that can help win the game since we're trying to throw this one away. I mean, wild. What is this that I'm getting? Okay.
Scam likely?
Yeah. Oh, Rob Manfred put out a statement on Shohei Ohtani's historic 50-50 season. Would you like me to read it? The PR.
Yeah, I think you should read it in its entirety.
Give you time.
Yeah, give me time to do some stuff.
This is a quote from Robert. Oh, wow. It's just me. From Robert D. Manfred Jr., the commissioner of Major League Baseball, talking about Shohei Ohtani's historic 50-50 season. If you missed it today, history was made. And he said, quote, while Shohei Ohtani has been a groundbreaking player for many years, his latest feat, oh, wow, that's my phone blocking the camera. His latest feat as the first 50-50 player in the history of Major League Baseball reflects not just his amazing power and speed, talent, but his character, his drive, and his commitment to all-around excellence. On behalf of Major League Baseball, I congratulate Shohei on this remarkable achievement. We are proud that he continues to take our game to great heights. Listen, I'm not going to hold you. That was a fantastic game by Shohei Ohtani, and it's crazy because the game that he passes 50-50 is the game he finishes with in his 6 at-bats, 6 hits, 4 runs, 10 RBIs on the day, 3 home runs. I mean, it was like a cheat code today for Shohei Ohtani. Happy for him to have had this huge moment, historic moment that we all get to be a part of. We've never seen this in Major League Baseball until today. So on this watch along, while we're having so fun watching along as the Phillies are crawling back against the Mets, we also have got a chance to watch along some history. We've seen good history being made with Shohei Ohtani. We're all seeing some bad history being made as the White Sox continue to be one of the worst teams in baseball. So BC, you're saying in the chat, Shohei's destined to complete baseball, the Japan Series, the World Baseball Classic, and the World Series. This is not soccer. This is not the
It's still pretty impressive. I mean,
yes, I'm just kidding. It's very impressive
to win your home country's, highest league, to win a World Baseball Classic, to win a World Series. That's incredible.
I was just kidding, by the way. This is my sarcasm of being here on the show for 2 hours. Yeah, go ahead, Tyler. Very, very impressive.
No, I mean, I think you're witnessing one of the greatest players to ever walk the planet, and do it in real time. So to be able to say you've watched a guy, like when the stats come in and it's Shohei Ohtani and Hank Aaron, Shohei Ohtani and Babe Ruth, Shohei Ohtani and Barry Bonds, Shohei Ohtani and Ted Williams. Like when you're in the air of that that company, it's really actually incredible. Phil, I'm trying to do like a million things at once.
I know. Tyler's juggling 3,000 hats right now, so bear with us here. To your point, it is really fun I always say, I'm not the type of sports fan that hates on greatness. Did I like the Kobe Bryant, Shaq, Lakers dynasty? No. Did I like the Tom Brady, Patriots dynasty? No. Have I enjoyed watching the bad years of the Phillies? No. But what I do appreciate is when you see these sports moments that you get to be a part of and witness, regardless of who you're a fan of. Oh, brother, BC with the reminder of the 2001 NBA Finals. That's hilarious.
This is one of the great. No, I appreciate you, Phil. Sorry for the snippiness.
But it is.
We will update it. I think it should be updated now. Now that 2001 Lakers, that 2001 Lakers team is one of the great duos of all time.
Oh yeah.
I have always said in my lifetime, I think Shaq is the most dominant player in the NBA. Like, not the best, right? Because in my lifetime, and when I say my lifetime, I mean the players that I like remember getting to watch. I did not get to watch Jordan. I watched Wizards Jordan. It doesn't really count. In my lifetime, the best player of and I think the same could be said for you, Renee. LeBron's the best player of our lifetime.
That's what I was saying. He's my GOAT.
Shaq was the most dominant player I ever got to watch. Like, when Shaq lost a step, it was quick. It happened fast. But LA Shaq,
big.
LA Shaq was unreal. I didn't really get to see Orlando Shaq.
Orlando Shaq was underrated, like quietly very good that people forget about. You can't sleep on Orlando Shaq because of how much skinnier and more agile he was, and just younger, more spry, more bounce breaking backwards. But LA Shaq was a whole different breed of like dominance, physically controlling the paint. Sure. in an era where like he took over the bigs, and it went from the tall, lanky bigs of the Hakeems and Kareems, and you had a lot of big, lanky bigs, to then this like stocky guy that could move. Definitely one of the most dominant players. So
I was not born after Shaq was traded to the Lakers. However, I was 4. So the Shaq that I grew up on was Lakers Shaq. And then to an extent was Heat Shaq. And then after that it was
after that
we were watching a guy that was like 4 steps too slow.
Yeah.
Do you remember him trying to keep up in that high octane Suns offense with it was Steve Nash and Amari Stoudemire?
Shaq, Sun Shaq, and honestly
Cavs, I think he was with.
Yeah. Oh,
they were all. I mean, Phoenix Shaq was at least a decent player still. He was just slow.
Yeah.
You got the Celtic Shaq and Cavs Shaq. It was not a good.
No. Yeah.
I was 4 when Shaq was traded to the Lakers. So
I remember it like it was yesterday.
Yeah,
I actually was not old enough to watch Orlando Shaq a lot. Like I was alive, but I was a baby. But I have, and just rewatching like the documentaries and stuff, like it was remarkable.
Oh, yeah.
But it was just like him and Penny could have had what him and Kobe had, So that's
and him and Penny making up was cool, right? Like them kind of putting it, the water under the bridge was a cool moment. Because I think Penny always had a little bit of vitriol for Shaq, for wanting out and not wanting and kind of feeling like he didn't want to play with him. But the two of them getting together and being like, listen, you're my boy. Like, I hope we can kind of put this past us. We're all grown men now. Like we both said some things we shouldn't have said. But the Penny and Shaq duo was nasty. There's no doubt about it.
I know. I still can't believe we have a post-game show.
We're talking about Shaq. That's where we're at.
No, literally. But that's why and it's funny because I feel like I keep forgetting almost that we're live.
That ball hit hard. You got to hold him.
I almost posted the wrong emoji.
What are you doing, Scoop?
So right now,
it's 10-6.
Jose Alvarado had to have a chat, settle him in a little bit. I'm trying to put out a tweet, and I need to stop tweeting and talking because I accidentally tweet the wrong things from our show account.
I'm gonna start tweeting about Shaq from the show account.
No, literally. I am not going to lie. I was tweeting the wrong stuff, and somebody would be waiting to call it out before I could like edit it. Oh my God.
What are these idiots talking about?
No, literally. We're talking Shaq, Penny, and Kobe.
The PHLY Shaq podcast.
That'd be cool. No, Acuna. Did you already see it? Oh, you already updated it.
Ball was hit hard.
You already updated it that fast?
Sometimes I can do my job.
Wow. Sometimes. Phil, look at Tyler doing his job. Look at this guy. So nothing like an Acuna hitting a triple. Alvarez scores, and just like that, Alvarado. I'm seeing it happen right now, actually. It's happening. It happened. Poor Alvy. Well, we talked about Jose Alvarado needing to get back to what we've seen in the past. And right now, as the 5th best bullpen arm, we saw them try to chat with him to settle him in. Fortunately, it did not work. in the same sense. He did not get out of this without giving up a run. And I just got liquid on my phone. I just got juice on my phone. Oh, no. So as we talked about Acuna.
I guess I should probably turn my mic back on, huh?
Oh, were you muted that entire time?
I was muted that whole time. Yeah, that's why I was trying to talk, and I'm like, I don't think anybody's hearing me.
I didn't hear you at all.
I will say this. My buddy texted me, and he said, I'm going to read a direct quote. They simply never quit. And it's true. There are times this year that they have just done an unbelievable job of fighting back. Their record in come from behind games is stellar. Tonight was an uphill battle, or it's been an uphill battle. I give the offense credit for battling back and putting up a 6th spot. I don't think they're going to win this game today, but they weren't lifeless, right? And yesterday they really struggled offensively. Monday they really struggled offensively. They weren't lifeless today. They didn't roll over and quit. I don't think they're going to win this game tonight, but they have battled, and I will at least give them a little bit of credit for that.
Definitely. They had plenty of opportunities to quit, even when you look at the way that the pitching was rolled out of a Ruiz, Allard, and even Alvarado as your next 3, instead of maybe putting someone out there that could. And they actually pitched well. Those guys did. But unfortunately, with Taijuan Walker, 7 runs given up, already we're put in a pretty bad spot. All right, guys, we have had some interesting conversations on this watch along, but it is time to shift gears and get into our post-game show. So here's what we're going to do. We'll take a quick break. We're going to come back with a new link where you guys can join us live here to honestly finish watching the game.
Everybody cool? Can we take like 10 minutes? Can we just like recoup real quick?
And I'll come back.
I mean, I would like to
wait, this. What? I can't hear you. I think I need to try again. My computer, huh?
Oh, I blinked.
My computer is it broke. It broke. I can't hear you. Are you guys talking to me?
If I come back to the show. If I come back and this is filled with whiskey, everybody's all right with that, right?
It's a Thursday, Tyler. Turn up.
I gotta be up at 5:15.
Yeah, your mom's house. You can be responsible. Yeah.
I gotta be up at 5:15 tomorrow. Come on now.
Just pull an all-nighter.
Oh yeah,
don't worry about it. The best way to cure a hangover, just keep on drinking, buddy. Just kidding. Okay. All right, with that being said, go get yourself some whiskey, go get yourself some food, some snacks, and then come on back in about, we'll say 9:45-ish. We'll be live to be able to finish out the game and get into our post-game show. Hopefully it'll be a comeback victory post-game show here on PHLY Phillies presented by Bet365, where it's never ordinary. You can place your bets and use code PHLY365 today. Tyler and myself, Renee, we'll be back soon. Bye. We all silly like the